Hello, my name is Zach from CodeBears, and today I will be showing you drag and drop customizations. I have already gone ahead and set up a new custom sheet on the sales order entry. And here I've just added a label with a background color set, app styling turned off, and a multi-line text box. I'm going to be showing you the events and simple amount of code needed to get this customization up and running, so you can do things like data entry with the adapters and all sorts. Give it a second to load up here. Okay, so going into wizards, in the event wizard, I have already set up my controls. Going here, you can go to drag enter and drag drop. These are the events we're going to need to have this customization take effect. Both events are required. Going into the script editor, the first thing we need to do before messing with these events is we need to tell Epicor, or not Epicor, but Windows, that we are needing to drop files on there. And most Windows and Epicor controls are going to have this allow drop property. So I'm going to take my drag drop and I'm going to say allow drop equals true. This is required and allows us to say that the files can be dropped on here. And something else I'm going to go ahead and set up is the text align property. So if you set the align property, right now I believe they align to the middle right. We want to change that to the center just so it looks better. This is not required. This is just a me thing. Middle, center. Okay. Once we have that set up, we can go down and start handling that. So the first thing you need to do is you need to tell the events that there is going to be data present and it is about to be dropped. But we can also check that to make sure that it is valid before we do that. And to validate that data, the arguments provided to you tell you all that information. So we can call these functions, and you can find documentation on these on MSDN. Like I said, this is just boilerplate code to get it up and running. We're going to go ahead and just set the args effect property to equal drag drop effects dot copy. Once you have that set up, you can go here and we can do that same check again just to make sure that the data is still there. And that we validate the information coming in. Alright, to get the files, it's as simple as initializing a new variable and pulling that data back from that event. And then we need to say that is a string array, because you are allowed to drop multiple files at once onto a control. In this example, we are only going to be working with one. If you'd like to do some error handling, you can always check if it is null, or if that length is less than or equal to 0, and then we can return there, and that will stop the execution and prevent, any potential problems. So to get the lines, we're just going to call out to the file system, because what is returned in this string array is not the data of the file, but the location of the file. So we still need to go out and get that. So system.io.read all lines, and then we can just put in that file that we've dropped. Pulling that back, we can now set our drag result.text equal the joined lines. This is just going to be setting the text box property to the information that we've gotten back from the file. You can process this data any way that you need. I'm just going to show you how you can get that data. Oops, it looks like I've named the control incorrectly. It is actually the drop result. Okay. When we save our customization here, we can exit, come back into Epicor, and we'll see this take place. Going over here, you see our text is now centered, and we can drag and drop files. So I have a sample file here that just contains some text. You can drag and drop any kind of files, and you can also, looking back at the documentation, you can check what kind of files that they have by checking the extension and content. So here, you notice that when we drag over, our mouse icon has changed. So it's telling you, hey, we're dropping text and files here. So if I do that, and you see that we went to the file system where it told us this file was and pulled back all that information into our text box. This has so many use cases that are, pretty useful for entering data in Epicor. If you say have like a CSV file full of information, if you just wanted to store text or anything of the like. Very useful customization and pretty simple to implement. Alright, thank you for your time.